do you have to run a campaign for every variation? With our leash right now, we only have one variation. We are going to be launching multiple variations for this product line. Right now, we just have the one. It's just a black and brown. We will not run a campaign for every variation, but we will run an ad for every variation. Let me show you how this works with our bandanas. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this as simply as possible because this can get, anytime you start talking ads, this can get really confusing. Okay, before I screen share, because you're going to start looking at numbers and it'll get really confusing. If you have just one listing with all your variations on the same listing, you don't necessarily need to run separate campaigns unless your variations are different enough that they justify their own campaign. I will explain. Let's say you are selling, well, we could use dog bandanas. We'll use ours as an example. We separate all of our designs into different listings. Within each listing, we have 3 sizes. Let me pull up Amazon and show you. So for our product, we have a separate listing. So these are all separate listings for each design. Within each listing, though, we also sell separate sizes. These are all listing, different listing, different listing, different listing. If I were to go into a listing, we have variations on size. So I have a large, a small, and an extra large variation of this design pack. So the way that we run ads is one campaign for each design, but we run separate ads to each of the variations. Let me show you. So if I were to come in here to my advertising console, I'll go to, I guess it doesn't really matter. I think it was Logan. Okay. So if I were to come into one of my Logan campaigns, I have one campaign with one ad group, but within that ad group, I have my 3 different sizes. That makes sense. So you can see I'm technically advertising to each size variation, but all under the same Logan campaign. So one campaign, one ad group, but the products to advertise, I do add all 3 size variations. So if you're like selling a similar type of business model where you had different designs and then multiple sizes of each design, this is the structure that I would probably recommend. Let's say here, new example. I'm going to stop screen share again so it's easier to understand. So let's say instead of having multiple sizes, you only have one size, but you have multiple designs. I'm trying to think of an example of a product that would be a good example of that. A pillowcase. You sell one size of a pillowcase, but you have different designs on your pillowcases. But you do one listing. So you have one listing. Someone goes to your listing. Let me see if I can just find an example. So you go to a listing for pillowcases, you click on it and you can choose a design. You're like, oh, cool, a snowman design and a turkey design and a Halloween design, but they're all on the same listing. If that were the type of product where the design was very unique, a Halloween design, a Christmas design, a Valentine's design, I would run separate campaigns because in each campaign, you're going to be targeting different things, right? For your Halloween pillowcase variation, even though it's on the same listing, it's a separate child item. I would run its own campaign because it's a Halloween design. I'm targeting Halloween keywords. And then for your Christmas pillowcase design, again, same listing. However, I want to create a separate campaign because I want to specifically target Christmas related keywords. Does that make sense? So if it's that type of product where the designs are very unique to where they would be different customers searching different things, yes, you want separate campaigns. If you were selling pillowcases like this, let me share the screen on this one. If you were just selling like a plain pillowcase, and let's just pretend you just had different colors. You had beige, you had white, you had burgundy, and chocolate. That's it. You just had 4 different colors, plain colors of a pillowcase. If that were the case, I would probably just run them under the same campaign and do what I showed you with our bandanas and just add products to advertise, add your 4 different colors. Someone could make the case where it's like, well, someone might search specifically for a red pillowcase. Yes, but probably most of the time with generic basic pillowcases like this, most of the search traffic is just pillowcase or polyester pillowcase, and then someone picks a color they like. Like, I mean, again, you can test it. You could test it if you want, but if I were selling that product and it was just the variation was just color, I would just put them in the same campaign, run kind of like those core keyword searches, pillowcases, polyester pillowcase, standard size pillowcase, measure the results. And if you see like, hey, the red pillowcase ad, because remember you can add each individual product as a product advertising, you can see the results for each product. Like, hey, the red pillowcase is not getting any sales. maybe you break that one off and test its own campaign and target some red keywords and see if it does well. Again, ads get super confusing when you kind of start talking strategy. And that's the thing, is every product is a case-by-case basis. So, I mean, the best thing to do, honestly, would be just to reach out to me personally, right? And we can kind of go over a strategy on a case-by-case basis for your specific product on how to kind of structure your advertising strategy. Because yeah, again, like every product might behave a little different.